There are quite a number of real estate companies in Nigeria, in Lagos even. So why did you decide to start a real estate company?
Clearly, the obvious answer would be to say business. That in itself is a sufficient reason. But however, that's further away from the truth. The primary reason is that housing raises serious human rights issues in Nigeria. So when people do come to my office, the first thing they notice is a painting on the wall that depicts old and dilapidated buildings. For them, it is quite an opposite that such a painting is there, because what they want to see is tastefully finished condominiums and duplexes. But that's actually a false representation. The painting actually depicts the reality on the ground. Because according to the Center for Affordable Housing and Finance in Africa, there's a housing deficit of 17 million units in Nigeria, and that number is growing. 20% of those are in Lagos. In fact, many people do live in slums. And for those who could actually afford houses, there's a they're beset with cumbersome procedures in order to perfect titles. The irony is that the right to housing is explicitly recognized under the Nigerian Constitution. So Chapter 2, which is termed the Directive Principles of State Policy, recognizes that right. But the problem is that that right is not justiciable. So what it means is that it is not open to the courts to adjudicate or make any determination on any issue relating to the right of housing. But Nigeria is actually party to and have ratified many international and regional human rights instruments that explicitly and implicitly recognize these important fundamental rights. So the crux of the issue is that the right to housing is cognizable under Nigerian law, and this places immediate obligations on the government. And that is where Wilbanks Property falls into play. It rests on that foundation. So its role is to provide affordable housing in order to aid in the achievement of these fundamental human rights.